Good morning. Let's begin our service this morning by singing hymn number 293. Rock of ages, truth divine, be thy strength forever mine. Let me rest secure on thee, safe above life's raging sea. Rock of ages, truth divine, be thy strength forever mine. Hymn number 293. The scriptural will be given by Dale from Virginia.
Joshua, chapter 24. And Joshua gathered all the tribes of Israel to Shechem. And Joshua said, Fear the Lord, and serve him in sincerity and in truth. And put away the gods which your fathers served on the other side of the flood and in Egypt, and serve ye the Lord. And if it seem evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom ye will serve, whether the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. And the people answered and said, God forbid that we should forsake the Lord to serve other gods. For the Lord our God, he it is that brought us up, and our fathers out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage, and which did those great signs in our sight, and preserved us in all the way wherein we went, and among all the people through whom we passed. The Lord our God will we serve, and his voice will we obey.
Let us have a moment of silent prayer and follow with the repetition of the Lord's Prayer. and its spiritual interpretation as given in the Christian Science textbook. Our Father, which art in heaven. Our Father, Mother God, all harmonious. Hallowed be thy name. Adorable One. Thy kingdom come. Thy kingdom is come. Thou art ever present. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Enable us to know, as in heaven, so on earth, God is omnipotent, supreme. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us grace for today. Feed the famished affections. And forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And love is reflected in love. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. And God leadeth us not into temptation, but delivereth us from sin, disease, and death. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. For God is infinite, all power, all life, truth, love, over all and all. Let's now sing hymn number 343. Thou art the way, to thee alone from sin and death we flee. And he who would the Father seek must seek him, Lord, by thee. Hymn number 343. Welcome to the Sunday morning service of the Plainfield Christian Science Church Independent. We begin each Sunday morning here at 10 a.m. with our roundtable discussion. And if you missed the one this morning, please be sure to get the recording on our website, plainfieldcs.com. We also have a Sunday school for children every Sunday morning at 11, and that class is conducted via a teleconference number so that any child anywhere in the world can attend. So call us and we'll be happy to give you the number and welcome your child to our Sunday school. And we have a testimony meeting every Wednesday evening at 8:15 p.m. where you can hear testimonies of healings and lives changed through the study and practice of Christian Science. And at all of our services, we have a nursery for the very, very young ones. And you can find us not only here in Plainfield, New Jersey, but you can find us on our website, plainfieldcs.com. We have a channel on YouTube, and we have offerings on SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'd like to point out an excellent article featured on the cover page of our website entitled Peace Within by A.U. But if you're struggling for peace, this is an excellent article. And let's see, we've been printing and mailing recently. Our magazine, Love is the Liberator, has been published and put in the mail to subscribers. And also, I believe our August full text lesson sermon booklet has been printed and mailed. Thank you, everybody who contributes to them and prints them and publishes them and mails them. Everyone is welcome here. And that includes all of you who are listening and participating from over the internet from around the world. Now we will have the reading of a testimony from the chapter entitled Fruitage in Science and Health, which attests to the healing power obtained by studying the Christian Science textbook. And that reading will be given this morning by Colleen from Massachusetts.
Page 653, Grateful for Many Blessings. In 1894, I began the study of Christian Science. At that time, I was greatly in need of its healing truth. For a number of years previous, I had been a semi-invalid, with no hope of ever being well and strong again. Several years before this time, I had undergone an operation, which resulted in peritonitis. For 3 years previous to my study of Science and Health by Mrs. Eddy, I was scarcely ever free from headache caused by the weakened and diseased condition of the internal organs. At the time I began the study of Christian Science, I was taking 5 kinds of medicine. I began to read Science and Health and did not take treatment, for I thought, if this is truth, I shall be healed. If it is not, I shall be able to detect it and will have nothing to do with it. I became a devoted student, and gradually my bodily diseases left me. I was free. And since that time, nearly 10 years ago, neither my 2 children nor myself have taken any medicine. And our understanding of truth has been able to meet and overcome any suggestion of illness. I was a devoted member of an Orthodox church, but as I grew older, I began to question my beliefs, and to my questions, I could find no satisfactory answer. I became dissatisfied and finally ceased attending church. I could not accept the idea of God taught there, and at last my friends looked sadly upon me as an atheist. There I stood until I learned to know God as revealed in Science and Health,
and then all my questionings were answered. In my girlhood, I had always prayed to the God I held in mind, and when the shadows of sickness, pain, and death came to my family, I prayed as only those can who know that if he helps not, there is none. But my prayers were unanswered. Then I closed my Bible saying, there is a mistake somewhere. Perhaps sometime I may know. Only those who know the attitude of mind that I was in can understand the joy that came to me as I began to learn of God in Christian Science and of my relation to him. Many proofs of the healing power of truth and of his protecting care throng my thoughts. 7 years ago, when we were in a far distant country where Christian Science was then unknown, my little daughter came in one morning from her school saying, "Mother, I have measles. 20 of the girls are sick in bed, and I'm afraid they will put me there also." Her face, hands, and chest were covered with a deep red rash, throat sore, and eyes inflamed. We began immediately to do our work in science, and at night, when I left her at the door of the college, her face was clear, her eyes bright, and all fear destroyed. That was the end of the disease. FMP, Boston, Massachusetts.
The lesson sermon for this morning can be found on page 8 of the Independent Christian Science Quarterly. Subject, truth. The golden text, 3 John. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in truth. The responsive reading is from Psalms and Proverbs and Job. Blessed are the undefiled in the way, who walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies, and that seek him with the whole heart. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given unto thee? Or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall not escape. I will fetch my knowledge from afar, and will ascribe righteousness to my Maker. For truly my words shall not be false. He that is perfect in knowledge is with me. Amanda from Missouri will now read.
I will read from the Bible. Proverbs. He that speaketh truth showeth forth righteousness. A faithful witness will not lie. Numbers. And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Hath the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek, above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, Come out, ye three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream. My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days. And the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. Proverbs. These 6 things doth the Lord hate, yea, 7 are an abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck. When thou goest, it shall lead thee. When thou sleepest, it shall keep thee. And when thou awakest, it shall talk with thee. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life. Matthew. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple. And his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars, and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. James. Who is a wise man and endued with knowledge among you? Let him show out of a good conversation his works with meekness of wisdom. But if ye have bitter envying and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth. This wisdom descendeth not from above, but is earthly, sensual, devilish. For where envying and strife is, there is confusion and every evil work. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. And the fruit of righteousness is sown in peace of them that make peace.
Florence will now read.
I will read correlative passages from our textbook, Science and Health, with Key to the Scriptures, by Mary Baker Eddy. The question, what is truth, convulses the world. Many are ready to meet this inquiry with the assurance which comes of understanding, but more are blinded by their old illusions and try to give it pause. If the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch. The efforts of error to answer this question by some ology are vain. Spiritual rationality and free thought accompany approaching science and cannot be put down. God will overturn until he come whose right it is. Longevity is increasing and the power of sin diminishing, for the world feels the alterative effect of truth through every pore. You may know when first truth leads by the fewness and faithfulness of its followers. Thus it is that the march of time bears onward freedom's banner. The powers of this world will fight and will command their sentinels not to let truth pass the guard until it subscribes to their systems. But science, heeding not the pointed bayonet, marches on. There is always some tumult, but there is a rallying to truth's standard. Right and wrong, truth and error will be at strife in the minds of students until victory rests on the side of invincible truth. Honesty is spiritual power. Dishonesty is human weakness, which forfeits divine help. You uncover sin not in order to injure, but in order to bless the corporeal man, and a right motive has its reward. Hidden sin is spiritual wickedness in high places. The masquerader in the science thanks God that there is no evil, yet serves evil in the name of good. A wrong motive involves defeat. In the science of mind healing, it is imperative to be honest, for victory rests on the side of immutable right. Understand God strengthens hope, enthrones faith in truth, and verifies Jesus' word, "Lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world." Resisting evil, you overcome it and prove its nothingness. Not human platitudes, but divine beatitudes reflect the spiritual light and might which heal the sick. Covering iniquity will prevent prosperity and the ultimate triumph of any cause. Ignorance of the error to be eradicated oftentimes subjects you to its abuse. Ignorance, subtlety, or false charity does not forever conceal error. Evil will in time disclose and punish itself. Truth is always the victor. Sickness and sin fall by their own weight. Truth is the rock of ages, the headstone of the corner. But on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. When needed, tell the truth concerning the lie. Evasion of truth cripples integrity and casts these down from the pinnacle. A dishonest position is far from Christianly scientific. He that covereth his sins shall not prosper, but whoso confesseth and forsaketh them shall have mercy. If the student adheres strictly to the teachings of Christian Science and ventures not to break its rules, he cannot fail of success in healing. It is Christian Science to do right, and nothing short of right doing has any claim to the name. To talk the right and live the wrong is foolish deceit, doing oneself the most harm. You should practice well what you know, and you will then advance in proportion to your honesty and fidelity, qualities which ensure success in the science. The baneful effect of evil associates is less seen than felt. The inoculation of evil, human thoughts ought to be understood and guarded against. The first impression made on a mind which is attracted or repelled according to personal merit or demerit is a good detective of individual character. Certain minds meet only to separate through simultaneous repulsion. They are enemies without the preliminary offense. The impure are at peace with the impure. Only virtue is a rebuke to vice. There is a large class of thinkers whose bigotry and conceit twist every fact to suit themselves. Their creed teaches belief in a mysterious, supernatural God and in a natural, all-powerful devil. Another class, still more unfortunate, are so depraved that they appear to be innocent. They utter a falsehood while looking you blandly in the face, and they never fail to stab their benefactor in the back. A third class of thinkers build with solid masonry. They are sincere, generous, noble, and are therefore open to the approach and recognition of truth. To teach Christian Science to such as these is no task. They do not incline longingly to error, whine over the demands of truth, nor play the traitor for place and power. Some people yield slowly to the touch of truth. Few yield without a struggle, and many are reluctant to acknowledge that they have yielded. But unless this admission is made, evil will boast itself above good. The Christian Scientist has enlisted to lessen evil, disease, and death, and he will overcome them by understanding their nothingness and the allness of God or good. This material world is even now becoming the arena for conflicting forces. On one side, there will be discord and dismay. On the other side, there will be science and peace. The breaking up of material beliefs may seem to be famine and pestilence, want and woe, sin, sickness, and death, which assume new phases until their nothingness appears. These disturbances will continue until the end of era, when all discord will be swallowed up in spiritual truth. During this final conflict, wicked minds will endeavor to find means by which to accomplish more evil. But those who discern Christian Science will hold crime in check. They will aid in the ejection of error. They will maintain law and order and cheerfully await the certainty of ultimate perfection. It requires courage to utter truth, for the higher truth lifts her voice, the louder will error scream, until its inarticulate sound is forever silenced in oblivion.
We will now have a moment of silent prayer for our world. Let's now sing hymn number 160. The words of this hymn are by Mary Baker Eddy. It matters not what be thy lot, so love doth guide. For storm or shine, pure peace is thine, whate'er betide. Hymn number 160.
free. Submit yourself to the truth, and the truth will make you free.
So here's a start. Where is your heart?
whether you're honest about it. If the answer comes quickly, you should doubt it. God can work with an honest mess, not a wheelbarrow full of BS. And if the truth hurts, it's only hurting your pride. Only after your pride has died will you be wide open to the beautiful freedom of being a prisoner of Christ. The truth will make you free. The truth will make you free. Submit yourself to the truth, and the truth will make you free. And if the truth hurts, it's only hurting your pride. Only after your pride has died will you be wide open to the beautiful freedom of being a prisoner of Christ. The truth is you are free to submit yourself to the truth. Oh, submit yourself to the truth. The honest to goodness truth. And be free.
Let's now sing hymn number 5. A voice from heaven we have heard, the call to rise from earth. Put armor on, the sword now gird, and for the fight go forth. The foe in ambush claims our prize, then heed high heaven's call. Obey the voice of truth, arise, and let not fear enthrall. Hymn number 5.
I will read from the Christian Science textbook, the scientific statement of being, and the correlative passages from 1 John, 3rd chapter. There is no life, truth, intelligence, nor substance in matter, or its infinite mind, and its infinite manifestation. For God is all in all. Spirit is immortal truth. Matter is mortal error. Spirit is the real and eternal. Matter is the unreal and temporal. Spirit is God, and man is his image and likeness. Therefore, man is not material. He is spiritual. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. Therefore, the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not. Beloved, now are we the sons of God, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that had this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. And the very God of peace sanctify you wholly. And I pray, God, your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved, blameless unto the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.